Hi, I'm Chris from Airwindows, and today is a day for bringing back something that's been kind of lost in obscure for a while. Back in the day, I got asked by a fellow composer, Alan Gold. Sounds very hoity-toity. You might have also heard of him as Agzilla. It's a Gear Sludge poster, if I'm not mistaken, or Deckwrecka. And I wasn't as involved with working with people and doing stuff as I am today, but I got asked to do a sort of mashup of some different effects. And honestly, the best thing I can do here now is to just show you. This is deck wrecking and no mistake. Actually, what the heck was that dance even? I know, it was caramel dancing. So, you might well ask, why? Why would you do this? And the idea is, it's like a sort of old school hip hop thing. The idea was to take beats and sounds and stuff. This is definitely a hip hop oriented plugin, and be able to dial in some of this just low frequency subwoofer smashing rumble as if you were playing your track over a turntable, running it through a mixer and amplifiers, slamming it through some huge speakers and just making it pound. Now, obviously you can wreck it very thoroughly. That is pretty much complete and total distortion. But you can dial it back. So what I can do is demonstrate also the way that this plugin can be used for moderate editions. And it's a combination of things. I think it's got some of the two-tape style head bump going on. It's got distortion. It's got a certain amount of grunginess. There's just a lot of stuff going on there. So it's its own little flavor. And it's named after Alan Gold's project, and hip-hopified to the essential limits of hip-hopification. So, we can start turning up a little bit. And you start hearing some crunch. This is not just only AEQ. This is giving you some rumble, crunch, snarl, stuff that you don't get with just equalizing it. It'll make stuff sustain a little bit more. And as you can hear, there's a real distortiness going on in the bass that you don't normally get. So you keep adding it. And it starts becoming its own texture, its own tone quality. Kind of like the 808 or 909 version of putting a guitar through an amp. Because obviously, if you were doing a guitar, people don't usually run guitars DI. Like I do sometimes. I have a 175 copy over there with the P90 in it, and I run the P90 right in the board, and it's really good for sort of deep bass and lower mid-range involvingness, partly because it's a hollow body. So it handles the lows differently. But basically, for a lot of guitar sounds, it's not just about taking a high-resolution copy of what's happening at the guitar pickup. And 808s and 909s are very similar to that. You don't necessarily just take them as is. What you do is do things to them, like jack them up and get them strange. And this is designed for that purpose. That's a really grungy, aggressive kind of bass. And you can keep slamming it, or dial it back until there's barely anything there. And I can also skip ahead a little bit and find stuff maybe which has also bass in it. There we go. Now, my stuff here is more like deep house or dub techno generally, so I don't necessarily have the same lows going on. But you can hear that that just brought out the kick in a way that's arguably better than I had it. Like, that's very clean. But then if I grunge it up a little bit with Deckwrecka, or pull it back until it just starts to get stuff dirty, I wouldn't necessarily want to do this on a whole mix. I mean, you can, but I wouldn't. But this could prove to be a useful tool for some kick drums and hip-hop elements, and not necessarily just kick drums. I can do other stuff, for instance. There's a loud kick. And there's a trancey bass thing going on too. So it really changes it into something else. Or just drums. That's a lot of lows added. And of course we can dial it back. So pretty much you can throw this on whatever and getting interesting results out of it. Deckwrecka is definitely free because it was always intended to be free. Like, if you support me over plugins, and I would certainly like to, because I keep working on a lot of stuff and it means a lot to me to be able to bring this to people, especially something that's like hip-hop oriented. It might be going to people who can't afford to throw hundreds of dollars a month towards all of the plugin subscriptions you could have. But I want to get tools into people's hands. And Deckwrecka was always intended as a giveaway from Alan Gould's website. And at the moment, it is all about bringing stuff out as VSD and getting them updated. And I'm happy to say that I've got around to bringing out the current version of Deckwrecka, so it rides again and should work pretty good for people. Hopefully will come in handy. And yeah, Agzilla, this one's for you. It is still as free as before. I don't remember whether we had a thing about you could only put it on your website. I do remember it's the websites that I've had available have broken or run out of time or whatever, so I don't think it connects anymore. So I would suggest updating your link. If you needed me not to have it on Airwindows, I would ask you, it's been a while, please let me have it on Airwindows. I imagine that I probably can, after all, I made it. And hopefully this is just something that makes you happy and lives up to the original idea of the Deckwrecka plugin, which is this sort of hip-hopified, bass slamming, intensified plugin that can really knock your subwoofers around. And again, since this was always meant to be free, if you jump on my Patreon more for this, don't think of it in terms of paying for this plugin, because this plugin is completely free. Think of it in terms of just helping me do more of this stuff. And I've got a lot of interesting things in store, so I hope you'll stay tuned. But this has been a fun Sunday for posting new plugins, and it's always fun to post something that can get the old subwoofers kicking. That's definitely a lot of fun. So I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.